The first call came into Bendigo's 3BO radio station just after 11 o'clock, and by the time announcer John Davis arrived to start his midnight to dawn shift, the phones were running hot with reports.
Yeah, there's three of them we can see from here. Well, I was just driving on the road, probably would have been 10-15 seconds. I finally stopped the car and had a decent look at it, just gone. And there's one that's just in the last 5 minutes moved from due north. It's gone right off it just went from due north to south-east and disappeared in a matter of bloody 2 minutes.
People from as far away as Maryborough, Kyneton and Castlemaine saw the lights. The most consistent reports were that they changed colour frequently, that they stayed virtually hovering high up in the sky, and that they appeared to have a conical shape. One man who phoned 3BO said the shapes looked like honeycomb when seen through his high-powered telescope. Were they scared or fascinated or...?
No, people seemed basically just excited. They thought it was something very spectacular. There didn't seem to be any panic in the town at all.
One man who not only saw the lights but drove 20 kilometres out of Bendigo to get a closer look through his binoculars was Paul Mulqueen.
It was changing all sorts of different colours. I could go through red, green, pink, blue, yellow, anything. And I turned around to leave it. That's when I saw quite a few more sort of looking around the sky.
The radio station directed most of their phone calls to the RAAF base at Laverton, whose official comment today was no comment, except to say that there was no Air Force activity in this area last night. They say they won't know anything more until Monday.
Few days, several hundred people have reported seeing strange lights in the southeastern sky in the Bendigo, Maryborough, Ballarat area. But for one Bendigo man, the lights are more than just a memory.
17-year-old radio announcer Mike Evans received calls about the lights on his late-night show. When he arrived home in the early morning, he saw them himself and then took these photographs from the roof of his house.
What I actually saw appeared to be a white light at first, and then that appeared to change to red and then to green and then to blue. Through binoculars and also through the camera, they appear to be a cone type shape with rotating very, very fast.
Today, an RAAF official went to Bendigo and confirmed that the photographs are genuine. He spoke to a number of witnesses and concluded that the sightings are interesting because of their scale and clarity.
Yes, I think it's an important sighting because such a lot of people saw, I think, more or less the same things. Not just in the Bendigo area, but more widely in other parts of Victoria. And this is why the Air Force certainly is spending quite a lot of time trying to understand what it is that people may have seen.
One theory that the lights were caused by lasers from a rock band has not yet been...
It's not a drawing by a UFO freak, but an accurate impression by a senior police officer. It was hurriedly sketched on the back of a telex message by Chief Inspector Paul Hickman after he witnessed the object for some time very early this morning over Melton.
Saw an aircraft in the sky. It looked to be a jet type, and I'd describe it as being delta-winged. It had two white lights shining out the rear of it, and it had a white light out the front, and it had a red rotating light under the belly section, and it had a red light on the top of the carriage.
Was it like anything you'd ever seen before?
No, it was a little bit different to the normal type aircraft you see. It was very quiet for a jet, because jet usually makes a lot of noise, and it was flying fairly low, but it certainly wasn't the man from Mars.
It wasn't that?
No.
Yeah, how do you know?
Well, it was an aircraft. It was a jet aircraft of some description.
Yet they didn't track it on the radar around here?
I believe not, but then it may have been because it was flying so low.
We're now flying in the same spot as the UFO that was spotted this morning. We're flying at approximately the same height and the same distance away from the police station. And we're told by Tullamarine Airport that they can see us on their radar screens.
Earlier in the night, about 1 o'clock, two other policemen from Melton had chased another object with two headlights and red tail lights for a number of hours as it flew in a triangle over Melton, Rockbank and Sydenham. At first, police thought there was an easy explanation to the mystery sighting. It was, they thought, a gyrocopter, which is normally based here at the Melton airfield, about 5 kilometres out of town. But when they visited here this morning, the mystery deepened. When police called at the tiny airstrip, they were told the gyrocopter hadn't been based there for more than 12 months. The Department of Aviation couldn't help either. There had been no civil, military or police flying operations in the area, and nothing had been identified by radar, even though Melton is close to Tullamarine. So tonight, in the true tradition of UFOs, the Melton sightings remain a complete mystery.
Sighted, a clear description of only one is available. It's a delta-shaped craft with no conventional wings, and it made virtually no noise. It had very bright white lights front and back, and what appeared to be red navigational lights on top and bottom. The other aircraft was said to have a fuselage like a gyrocopter and very thin wings, but it had no rotor and again made little noise. It was sighted just before 1 o'clock this morning, hovering over the Melton Regional Shopping Centre. It was spotted by 2 policemen on patrol, who then spent the next 5 hours tracking it in and around the Melton area. As they recounted events today, our helicopter retraced the flight.
Very quiet, sound like it describes like a vacuum cleaner, slight quiet vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. Could you see any occupants in it?
No, we only got a quick glance with the spotlight, then took up at a fast rate of speed in an easterly direction towards Rockbank.
Then the second and more baffling aircraft was sighted.
It definitely wasn't a conventional plane.
Did it have wings?
No, no wings, and it was approximately 30 feet in length, 20 feet wide.
No, I've never seen an aeroplane of this nature whatsoever before. If I could describe it or compare it with any other type of aeroplane whatsoever, the closest I could say was perhaps an English Harrier jet.
Sergeant Harmon, like his superior, Chief Inspector Hickman, would not say it was a UFO, simply some sort of experimental military aircraft the authorities didn't want to talk about.
Constable Ray Addison was driving with his family, wife Jeannie and daughters Leah 7 and Tina 6. He stopped the car when they saw a craft with 6 bright lights humming and passing over them slowly at a height of only about 200 metres. They watched astounded for about 30 seconds before it disappeared. And the Addisons aren't the only ones who've seen baffling sights on Australia's east coast of late. They say it was just like the UFO described by 2 Victorian policemen who say this is what they saw and chased for 5 hours.
Well, it was a metallic looking. You couldn't make any definite shape out, but you could see that it joined up all the lights and it had a square back on it, definite square back, and it came out to each side, the sort of points at the lights at the sides.
Like the drawing you saw on television last night?
Yes, yeah, that's what, it was astounding to see it.
What sort of noise did it make? Well, there was a very dull, a rumbling buzz, if you can understand that. The sighting by the Addisons comes only a couple of weeks after many reports of trackings by aircraft controllers of craft in the same area.